are the United Parties, as well as Emmanuel Kotin, the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Security and Counter-Terrorism. Gentlemen, good morning to you. We'll as well be joined by lawyer Bracco Powers in a short while. I trust that the week has been kind to all of us.
Yes, it is. I mean, it has been kind. Once we have life, there is hope. And once there is hope, then there is victory. So it's been kind. How far we have come to Mawena this year has been terrible. A lot of people have really left us.
And I was going to say our condolences from all of us here at TV3 to you as well.
But we are still going. We can't stop. We have to keep going.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. And then happy to meet my brother here with all the smiles and the good news as well. I'm going to let out the good news, or you want me to do it, or we keep it?
I think you have to do it yourself.
No. Anyway, Marina, God has been so merciful as always. It has been a remarkable year with a lot of good stuff and bad things as well. But that is how nature has structured things, and you cannot challenge God on what He decides to do. The good thing is that Ghanaians, given what has happened within the Sahel, we are still in peace. That's the most remarkable thing. And then we are looking into the new year that all the pockets of chieftaincy and land disputes we have across the country, God will show His mercies. And we can all reflect and see ourselves as a common people with a common destiny, with the same blood. So as always, I will need to really also, on behalf of my partner in crime, Solomon Owusu, thank our cherished listeners. In fact, we are indebted to you guys. It's because of you we get the strength every morning, especially on Fridays, to come here. We are really grateful. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in advance. We pray that God will touch every person's home and let us have the forgiving spirit. And on that basis, I urge my brother King Solomon and the United Party
I know where you are going.
to let sleeping dogs lie. And take it easy on Nana Akufo-Addo,
Nana Akufo-Addo.
We are entering into a new year.
Yeah.
So let's leave 2025 behind us and look at and be positive looking forward. It's human. It's a human institution.
The United Party.
It is natural to err, and it is divine to forgive. So you have done it now.
Absolutely.
2025. You have done all the hitting.
So next year,
for
no
2026,
hitting.
No hitting. Let's look at how we can build our country.
So then,
now let's be solution focused.
Yes.
What we can do to help His Excellency John Mahama see his 3 years through. Then we see how the election 2028 will
go. So you should go and tell the MPP to send the monies that they stole to the Independence Square, so that the state goes for it.
They stole some money.
What are we talking about here? This morning, what are we going to discuss?
Ken Ofori, we have already started.
No, it's alleged.
Which one?
Look. So, look, you are my good friend. Let's don't go into this territory. Look, if you are alleged to have done something solo,
you have your day in court.
You have your day in court until you are
when an attorney general
convicted.
Mawena, when an attorney general goes to court, he or she does not say in the straight that it is alleged that Mr. So and so stole. He said he stole this, contrary to section this. He stole. So I, as a citizen of this country,
you are basing on what the attorney general is saying.
He has been employed to defend the state.
But the attorney general have lost cases in court.
He is saying that they are stolen. There are 70 charges against Ken Ofori-Atta, but he has stolen from authority.
So don't hide under this one. Listen, for the fact that the attorney general is not the final authority.
Okay, let's get into the meat of
sometimes
the way you have brought your Holy Bible and bringing the Constitution.
Because let me start with you, Sulu.
I am very surprised
on the Ken Ofori-Atta matter and everything we heard from the Attorney General yesterday. Since we started, then so let me start.
So let me greet your listeners once again. The truth of the matter is that Ken Ofori-Atta has no business being in the U.S. at the moment. The people of Ghana wants him to come and account. At this stage, no one is saying that he is guilty or not guilty. But at least the legal representative of the state, that is the Attorney General, is telling the entire world that he has stolen from us. And he must come and answer. Simplicity. Because we need the funds. But you know my difficulty with Ken Ofori-Atta and Ghanaians in general, why we are where we are is the parliament that vetted Ken Ofori-Atta and approved of him to be our finance minister.
No, they were just doing their job.
No, they didn't do any good job. If they did, because when President Akufo-Addo nominated him for the position of the finance minister, some of us had raised the issue of Obotan. You remember Obotan? The Senate issue, that Senate scandal involving Ken Ofori-Atta and his company, which should have led him to prison. We said that this man in the 90s swindled the whole Senate. So don't allow it to stand. What did the parliament then do? They what? Vetted him and approved of his nomination.
Who approved the nomination?
It was
a hung parliament.
No, it wasn't. No.
The first parliament
was
okay, the second one.
The second one.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm blaming the parliament.
And who is the party? It's the NDC government.
That's what I'm saying. That if I say parliament,
so go straight and say NDC should take a portion of the blame
for allowing him
to go to the vetting, because it was a hung parliament.
What you are saying today
in 2020.
What you are saying today was my argument against the NDC MPs when they allowed him to go through during the second term.
Right.
I said it on several platforms that if there were people that to be blamed for we having Ken Ofori-Atta for the second time, it was a minority because it was a hung father. So, in fact, he was able to defer his vetting. He was staying in the U.S. and gave all sort of reasons. And so did not attend for the first time. And it is the reason why he was emboldened when he knew very well that he had shortened the country in the 90s through the Obotan deal. And we as a country gave him the second opportunity. How would he take us serious? So he came to mess all of us up. Now, you claim that you have not done anything. After all, the lawyers of Ken Ofori-Atta, right from the beginning, that was what they were telling them, from Frank Davis to Minka Premo and everyone, all the statements they issued, they said that their client was ever ready to defend whatever decisions he made during his lifetime as the finance minister. So some of us were encouraged by the admonitions of his legal representatives. But you remember the number of times they told us that the man was coming. From the lawyers, April, May, June, the man was going to come. The lawyers left the scene. They introduced their family, a group of people who call themselves family members. They issued a statement that we did not have a single name under it. All that they wrote was issued by family members. Who are the family members? They also promised that the man was going to come. When things degenerated, we had Afenyo Markins go to the floor of parliament.
And promised that he was going to return.
But you know that I'm going to petition for him to be arrested on that. You cannot be on the floor of parliament and peddle such an obvious untruth. He said the man was going to come somewhere May.
So which constitutional provision?
When we get there, you are not supposed to be on the floor of parliament and lie through your teeth.
Which constitutional provision? You are with the constitution now.
So
let's know.
So he says he's going to petition.
Yes. Before you make a decision to petition, you might have granted your rights.
You want me to exhibit or show the person that I'm going to petition against what I am sitting on air. Is that what you are advising me?
But
don't worry,
you are not in court for the president.
So the point is that Afenyo came to lie to us, and Afenyo would have lied because of the information that he had been given or what he had been told to go and say. Beyond that, we insisted, we pressed that the man has to be brought back to Ghana. Then came the wife, who also entered the fray and assured that the man was sick and that immediately he's okay, he will be back to Ghana. It's been a year, almost a year, and the man is still chilling in the United States of America. Now we piled pressure on the OSP. It's one of the reasons why some of us said that the OSP was not performing. And yesterday, the Attorney General vindicated the position that in the midst of all this, it was only last week or so that the extradition
actually the 10th.
The 10th,
yeah,
was filed. So what were you doing all this while? What were we doing all this while? I understand that he has gone for top lawyers. That one shouldn't scare anybody. If you are a top lawyer, we must also have top lawyers here. All we are saying is that if the United States of America can bring extradition orders to come and take young boys who have only taken 8 million, 9 million. We are talking about someone who led this country to borrow 13.5 billion. Between Ken Ofori-Atta and the Abutrikas and the Boates, who must come before the other? We should be fast-tracking Ken Ofori-Atta's coming to Ghana faster than these scammers. Though I don't subscribe to their nonsense.
Right.
You understand? So Ken Ofori-Atta must be in this country, must answer to the people of this country. The very reason why he went to the United States must be the reason why he must even be in Ghana. That he was sick and seeking treatment at the topmost hospital, Mayo Clinic. Mawina, if you are sick today, would the state send you to Mayo Clinic?
Certainly not.
But you are a taxpayer. You see, we have turned the thing upside down. People that are supposed to come and serve us, when they come, they don't serve. When they come, the meager tax revenue that they garner, they don't use it to benefit you and I. They take it, and when they are sick, they find their way in the United States. And that is why you and I must be angry. You started something called Agenda 111. If you did it well, you must be attending these hospitals. We have Kolebu. When you and I are sick, we go to Kolebu. If we don't go to Kolebu, we go to Rage. If you don't go to, we find a quack hospital. It is the reason why we were put there as the finance minister, to make sure that we invested our monies into these hospitals, to bring them to the standard that can take care of all of us. Konfanochi, that time he was busy together with his brother Ofori Nana Akufo-Addo were digging a big hole. Konfanochi, Otunfo was begging citizens to contribute to the renovation of Konfanochi. Is Konfanochi the property of Otunfo? And interestingly, we had members of parliament, ministers of state who were within this country. Why did we go wrong? They take our tax revenue, they sit on it, and they go and hide behind Otunfo to be doing lala sulala to fix a government property. Yet we were busily digging a hole. Led by him, because he gave us quotations from Genesis to Matthew to Luke to whatever. Created the impression as holier than thou. Now come and answer charges. You say no. So for me, it is long overdue. And that I believe that American authorities will not dilly-dally with this matter. And the government of the day, the National Democratic Congress administration, John Mohammed's administration, must remember that one of the reasons they came to power was the aura. Operation Recover or Loot. And the kingpin in this matter is Ken Ofori-Atta. So if they let go of him, hallelujah, the United Party will chronicle all the campaign activities of the NDC come 2028. Because as we speak, the only credible political party in this country is the United Party. As for the LPP, it's kaput. By 31st January, it's gone. Then we will take over and then tell the people of this country why they must settle on the United Party. So my brother Ima cannot say that we must let go the thievery that took place during the last 8 years until we do recovery, full recoveries. We cannot let these matters lie down. As for this administration, we will checkmate them alongside what has happened in the past. Either than that, what moral authority would you have in criticizing this administration?
Absolutely.
When you are aware that people came to steal. As we speak, the Auditor General has surcharged Asibe and Gift Aware with an amount of 2.4 billion Ghana cedis that they must pay. Two people.
Allegedly.
No, that is the position of the Auditor General, not allegedly.
The Auditor General has indeed said.
But what is allegedly? The Attorney General is in court and said that these people are thieves. You say allegedly. What is allegedly about it? Attorney General is paid by me. Article 88 says the Attorney General shall lead all prosecutions in this country. My Attorney General that is paid by the taxpayer is saying that these ABCD have stolen. I'm going with that. Until proven otherwise, that is the position of the state. If you care to know. And by being the position of the state, all those that have been accused are part of the state.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
So they must go for these monies, and then we use it to develop this country. Until that, 2026, we will still go after them.
So until 2020.
As well, let me. You as well have the bite now.
Until 2020.
Yes.
You were a very active member of the MPP.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you are equally to be blamed for some of the things we are talking about.
No, not at all.
Because
not at all.
You left MPP in 2023.
Absolutely.
Correct?
September.
Yes. So from 2016 to 2023, I never heard your voice on this.
I was on several platforms. Look, I will play you a tape right now on GH1 2018. When I openly criticized Akufo-Addo that what he was going to use our money to do at Rich, and when we are done, I'll give you that video to play.
After the cathedral.
The cathedral.
All of us criticized.
Yes, and which else?
Because it was a personal promise he made to God.
And he should not have tried.
Are you, because of that, you left and contested as an independent guy? You are talking as if you are not a member of the MPP. You left the MPP because of the TV. The very thing we are discussing. But why are you doing that yourself?
You see, I left MPP and contested as an independent candidate
because
of the way they treated me. Not because I have no any concrete evidence of any thievery. As it stands now, many of the things are allegations,
and which will be proven in court.
Court of competent jurisdiction proves otherwise. They remain allegations. Well, thank you so much for having me. You see, we have to contextualize these issues. My saying that 2026, let's have a breather on these issues is not to say that we shouldn't discuss them. I'm just saying that the former president, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, he's an old man. He needs some rest. We all agree that he didn't perform well. The buck stops with the head, but you can also look at it from another angle.
Absolutely.
This old man could mean well, except that his appointees disappointed him. And because he was the head of the house, he takes the ultimate blame. I think as a party, MPP, it has come to a time for them to decouple the issues of Ken Ofori-Atta in particular from the institution of the party as MPP. Otherwise, the collateral damage will be so enormous for the party.
But you care about
and you see, I don't want MPP to feel that you have given Emmanuel Kotin an opportunity to serve, a rare privilege. Then I go and I decide to engage in activities I'm not supposed to be engaged in. The state legal authorities are looking for me and I'm running away and the party is defending me. To that extent, is it fair to say that the party was aware of the things that were going on? Second, look, Ken Ofori-Atta...
You are even throwing more punches than I did.
No, honestly, because some things are there. You know me, I'll call it as it is because my fidelity is to the state.
Absolutely.
Nothing more. So don't read meaning into what I was saying. I was just saying that by our African tradition,
you allow the older...
He's over 80 years now. Let's allow him to rest.
He's resting.
Because, in fact... I thank God, I understand he doesn't watch local channels or listen to anything. I think it was a good advice they gave him. If Nana Akufo-Addo is watching and
listening to Solo Fire every day,
you give the man BP. You drive him to his early grave.
No,
and that would not be good, Solo. That was my point. Now, if you look at 2017, when he was sworn in as finance minister, MPP had absolute majority.
Yes.
2020, Everybody said Ken didn't perform, he shouldn't be confirmed. It was a hung parliament. What did the NDC do? Even Okujato even had the reason to walk out. You remember?
Yes.
Because he felt that
he actually renounced his membership of the appointment committee because he
felt that what they agree they were going to do to Ken Ofori-Atta, somehow, some way, some people went behind there to do deals, and Ken was approved.
That is the funniest aspect.
So we cannot blame MPP entirely for the crimes of Ken on the state.
No,
the NDC is equally complicit. If NDC have done their parliamentary duty to stop Ken second vetting and appointment, we wouldn't have been talking about this thing. If you look at most of the things we are talking about Ken, most of the things happened in the last 4 years. So NDC is equally complicit in that.
Yes.
You had a fine opportunity. Look at even today in Parliament, macro minority. Look at the pressure they are giving NDC in Parliament. And NDC had a hung Parliament. And their duty was to do the right thing, get value for we the Ghanaian people, and they went to bed. Now you are in power. You are calling out Ken has done this Ken. So NDC is equally complicit. We must call it out what it is. If NDC hadn't vetted and approved Ken Ofori-Atta, we wouldn't have been where we are today. That is the truth of the matter. Second, I think
that's the third point you have.
I think that Ken has not been fair to this country. Honestly, when he left and said he was sick, anybody can be sick. Solo, you remember what we spoke about? So, well, if he is sick, for justice, the wheels grind very slowly. At the end of the day, it will get to our destination. Then they gave timelines when Ken will make himself available to this country. Even went to the hospital that was attending to Ken and brought a beautiful letter from the doctors.
It was a fake
giving us the time frame Ken Ofori-Atta would recover and run to this and return to Ghana. Now, Mawena, the disturbing news I'm hearing from the Attorney General, if it is true, that Ken is getting top attorneys in the US to fight this extradition. I think Ken has not been fair to this country.
What if he doesn't want to return through the process of extradition? He wants to return by himself, and being extradited into the jurisdiction will further paint him with a brush that
he has not got that right.
Guilty.
He has not got that right. Ghana is not Ken Ofori-Atta's personal or private property. You serve in a public capacity. At the time we say you should go, you say you can't abandon your children.
Fantastic.
What has happened now?
Yes.
Your children are now hungry and calling you, you are not coming. In the history of this country, tell me the finance minister who had ever run away the way Ken Ofori-Atta has done. Tell me, even the ministers, Sampayanki and Ko, they all faced it.
They were all
Kwame Pripra, they faced it. Even Victor Solomi, he even died in prison. How would Ken Ofori-Atta's own be different? So that is why I agree with you on your call on Afenyo Markins, that Parliament is a place of records. You can come and give definite day Ken Ofori-Atta will make himself available, and those days have come, and you don't have even the moral right to still occupy the position of minority leader.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you are making the sins of Ken Ofori-Atta fall collaterally on the party you lead. So is MPP prepared to be in opposition just because of Ken Ofori-Atta? I would dare say no. And if anybody within MPP is afraid to talk about Ken Ofori-Atta, I will talk about it. Because what is not right yesterday cannot be right today. If he knows he has not done anything wrong, he should kindly come home. Setekba was former finance minister. Is he not in this country?
He's here.
So why is Ken not here? So it's about time. And you know the annoying part of it. It's like you've robbed us of our money. and you are now using our money to fight us.
That is what you see.
You rob us our money. You are now using our money to fight us,
right.
And it gives credence to many of the things they are saying that is true. So it is about time MPP enter into the processes of divorcing Ken Ofori-Atta from the party.
Right.
If they don't divorce Ken Ofori-Atta from the party and they want to continue as usual playing the political card that these things are about political prosecution and those kind of things, the collateral damage on the MPP will be very enormous. And some of us will not agree.
The point is that this call is too late. This call that my brother Kotin is making is too late, because this was a party that its members of parliament, more than 80, said that Ken has to be removed from position, that at the end of the day, the party itself supported that he should not be removed. So he remained at post.
And so the party still...
The party believes in the actions and inactions of Ken Ofori-Atta.
Right.
In fact, the party believes that for him to have dissipated our coffers was the right thing.
But on the subject matter of his return,
yes,
this has piqued a lot of interest for us here in this country. The NDC government and the Attorney General has provided some explanation as to the process and all of that. For many, even the fact that the extradition processes went to the U.S. authorities on 10th of December is disappointing in itself. Because that has taken too long a time.
More than.
Where does this Ken Ofori-Atta saga leave the NDC in itself and its promise to fight corruption and recover loot for us? Because there's a feeling that this could become a huge albatross around their neck.
Oh, now let me tell you, read my lips. If by the middle of next year there are no, as it were, clear-cut advances towards recovery of stolen assets and money, and also the indication that people will be imprisoned, there will be implosion within the NDC itself. The pressure that is coming is not coming from the opposition, but it's coming from NDC supporters themselves, who feel that their government is dilly-dallying with them. You went and promised the people that you would deal constructively without fear or favor with all those that have stolen from the country. Believe you me, people can hide behind semantics, legalities, and so on and so on. This country has been stolen. You were in this country that the finance minister, the current finance minister, came to tell us that we went to Ofori Exim Bank to borrow $750 million to finish in Sawam Amasaman. What's the name? Swami Interchange. Apega to Konongo to Eguso.
All those projects are still uncompleted.
Uncompleted, but the money is finished. In fact, the finance minister went ahead and said that when they checked, the money had been one-off payment transferred into another account that was used for something different from the purpose for which the loan was contracted. We have a finance minister that came to tell us that, but for his intervention, the country was going to lose about 13 billion through fallen means. And I've said that pronouncement by the finance minister must not end there. Because definitely people would have gone into the banks to withdraw those monies. Why wouldn't you go to the step of identifying those companies, those officials at the Roads Ministry that aided in these crimes? For which reason the country was going to lose so much? Because what it means is that if it has gotten to that position, it means in the past they have succeeded so much with stealing from us. We know they have stolen from us, but many a times because they go and hire all the lawyers in this country, give them money, they come and then destroy the cases for the state. At the end of the day, it is you and I that suffer. So there is no doubt that the NDC administration, particularly President Mahama, has an opportunity to redeem himself. This country will never forgive President Mahama and his administration if they decide to go treat it as business as usual, that they will not deal with those who have looted from us. And some of us will fight it head on. We are not going to play with it. And so you are right. 10th December, all along we have been fighting for the extradition. We have been fighting. You waited. One of the reasons why some of us called on the OSP or the SP to be sacked, because he had to prepare the dockets and give it to the Attorney General. He sat on it, gave us all the rendition, all the press conferences, yet the actual thing that you were supposed to do, you were not doing it. So how do I take you serious? So this administration must be serious with fighting corruption. If they don't, I'm telling you, it will be implosion.
Right.
The implosion will, the party members will rather fight this administration.
Right.
I think Solomon indeed has hit the nail on the head. The success of this government beyond 2028 is the aura. You see, the rot in the system is one too many.
Yeah.
And if we want to safeguard the sanctity of our democracy, we must all do what we can to fight craft within the system. All these monies is depriving lives in our rural areas who don't have hospitals, don't have access to good water, schools, roads, and other amenities. Sometimes I begin to ask myself how we have gotten to this. Look, Kisi Ajabin should never be treated with kid gloves.
Absolutely.
Look at the SML. Manasseh Azuri reported to the special prosecutor and cooperated with them in 2003, November 2023.
Yes.
Okay. 1 full year, Kisi Ajabin did nothing about that. In investigations, we call it suppression of investigations. And that by itself is a crime. So this government should be intentional. They shouldn't feel that they have taken off the Chief Justice, their petitions against the EC and her deputies, so taking the special prosecutor will read certain political meaning. Every Ghanaian agrees that Kisi Ajabin has not led up to expectation. Until we get Kisi Ajabin out, we'll be fighting corruption and Kisi Ajabin will fight us back. That is the truth of the matter. Second,
aren't those words too harsh on him?
not so harsh. Those are, look, sometimes you have to call it what it is.
It's so soft.
And you see, I want to appeal to Ghanaians. Look, for once, let's show our patriotic curves. I think we need to start some kind of movement. Picket at the embassy of the United States for them to see the seriousness of the matter.
It was something I was going to come
It doesn't
to
look as if that is some form of political prosecution one is targeted at Ofori-Atta. Me, for nothing at all. That hole that has been dug there.
It's still there.
$100 million.
Led by President
dollars.
Now you say we shouldn't.
Mawena, I come from a rural place. So do you know what $100 million can do to Saboba?
Now you are saying that we should leave Kufuor because he's old.
No, listen.
And all elderly man who didn't consider his age and dug a hole.
Look,
you said we should leave him.
Look, I don't want you to drive into his early grave.
Why?
I want him to live longer to see the collateral damage some of the actions and inactions of his appointees have done to
and
this
he himself.
Please.
Why are you taking him out?
I've never taken Akufo-Addo.
So he is the chief culprit.
I've never. Look, Nana Akufo-Addo is not before any court as we talk. It's his appointees.
Which is unfortunate.
Look, if Alan is the president,
we would have rounded all
Ebo and you are the finance minister, Ebo is the defense minister. You go and do your due, and you are before the court. We should put the blame on Alan. No, let us call it what it is.
So you think
you see that now I've brought it closer to you.
So
You are quiet. This guy has quiet.
I brought it closer. I'm not looking at you because on this occasion, President himself was involved. Look, when you read the Deloitte and Touch management report, President Akufo-Addo was the one that started paying David Ajay. When the contract itself had not even gone to the PPA,
look,
he paid.
So look, when I was coming here,
I don't know why he's not being prosecuted.
Someone called me,
yes,
and said he saw a banner. I'm going to speak about Ken Ofori-Atta.
Yes,
and this is a senior person who was in government, and he tells me that even in cabinet, Ken comes when he wants. The president can be seated before Ken comes, which is never done anywhere. Ken can come, cabinet is in session, he will excuse himself and leave. The president is sitting there.
So
you realize that Ken
Akufo-Addo was weak.
Ken was running
The show.
The show.
But did you vote for Ken Ofori-Atta?
No, I didn't.
So that is why we must drag Akufo-Addo into the matter.
So that is why we are all calling on Ghanaians. Let us demonstrate our democratic spirit. Both NDC, MPP, the UP.
That's it. That's the party.
And the other parties. Let's picket at the U.S. Embassy. Let's lead that movement. You understand? For them to see that it is a democratic right we are pressing on for them to release Ken Ofori-Atta to come here. If you look at the processes and the kind of lawyers Ken is going for, it will take many years before we can get Ken Ofori-Atta back to this country. Unless Ghanaian can demonstrate that these are not political prosecution, but that he genuinely has some questions to answer. And rightly so, you even hit the nail on the head. He was the finance minister. He did the disbursement and all those kind of things. But you know, our investigative bodies are lazy. Ken is just one of many within the value chain.
Right.
Our investigative bodies cannot tell us that they are only looking for Ken and there were no other people involved because he couldn't have done that alone. So what? No, that was the SML. If you look at the big hole they dug there, the cathedral. You see, people who were involved.
There was an ambulance purchase.
Ambulance, Ken Ofori-Atta once again.
You see,
you run all of them up.
So all those people who were involved, begin to process them before.
What about the 52
they are here.
billion? The 52 billion
they are here.
Transferred to an unknown account.
They are here, so that you can gather further and better particulars from these people. You don't wait for Ken to come before you look for them.
But you think
otherwise, evidence will be lost with time. So I think we have to call our investigative bodies to leave the nuances of politics and do the work they are entitled to.
In effect,
we have a long way to go.
Agrees.
We have a long way to go.
Agrees that
of course.
We cannot leave the MPP, Nana Akufo-Addo's administration in 2026. In fact, what he has just said is for us to go back and do more due diligence. So the onslaught will still be on them. This administration, we are yet to identify any scandal. Fortunately, by the 31st, the Auditor General will commence his auditing of various ministries and agencies. Until such a time, these ones that we are dealing with, these are low-hanging fruits. What about the Pualugu? Look, Pualugu.
So the people who were in charge of those things,
hey,
why are
they
going after them?
They have a problem.
You see, NDC didn't start well. The Noli Prosecutions they entered and freed one of their own. It is hunting them now. Look, Sedina has been convicted of a court of competent jurisdiction in this country.
She has to be brought back.
No,
Sedina is in the US.
Wait.
Why is the extradition document going for extradition for Sedina and only for Ken Ofori-Atta?
I can confidently tell you.
We cannot choose
I can confidently tell you that the AG has provided, even in fact yesterday, he provided updates as to the extradition processes for Sedina.
It's taking too long.
Sedina must be brought back. She has been convicted already.
And her extradition documents have been sent. He provided updates yesterday as well.
You know what angers me the most? And I feel that there's a criminal correlation somewhere.
Now you are coming home.
Ken Ofori-Atta ran away with his personal aid. And that guy had a lot of information. And they all left jurisdiction almost about the same time. You understand? So as a country, we should be worried. So MPP must divorce itself.
It's too late to call.
It must divorce itself.
The MPP itself is very much choked by the corruption. So it cannot be.
No, listen.
No. Why do you think they must divorce?
I ask you a question. So if you are the finance minister and Ebo is the defense minister, you go and do your thing.
Yes.
And the state authorities are going after you.
Yes.
Should they put the collateral damage on the UP party.
So this is where it is. This is different. No, don't answer yourself.
The internet don't lie.
No, you have asked a question.
I'm waiting patiently.
No, you have asked the question.
When
you want to ask a question, answer your own question.
I'm not landed.
Hold it there.
Let me land there, you see. Let me land.
I will let you land.
No, let me land.
But he has to answer.
No, I've not finished. Look.
Is your question a thesis?
No, the internet don't lie. I will hold you.
So ask me the question.
I will hold you
to
your own words.
Yes.
When things begin to ravel within this government.
All right.
You understand?
Yes.
So I ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you telling me that if you have been involved in a scandal and the government and the state authority are going after you,
yes,
then is the party or
you are not getting the drift.
Answer that and then let's round because I have to pick some calls.
You are picking a call. So the simple answer is that Ken Ofori-Atta was called out by his own party members. When they did, the party that knew very well that the man was not performing, he was aiding in dissipation of state resources, came to the defense of Ken Ofori-Atta.
It was not the party.
Which
it was
one?
The cousin, the president.
What are you talking about? You know that the national chairman and the general secretary of the party sits in cabinet, and it is cabinet that will take this decision to as to whether or not you will sack a president. What are you talking about? You see, so if a party is involved and you could not cause him to be removed, and you say that we must divert the party from it, what are you talking about?
I need a yes or no.
That
if you are the finance minister, you go and do your things under Alan Chairman, things presidency.
Yes. But these are two different issues.
The state authorities are looking for you.
Why must it
the
be?
collateral damage come on your party and answer me yes or no.
No.
Then we'll move on.
So yes or no. What I'm saying is that
answer me
you
yes
yourself, I have given you the background to it that the party has a representative at cabinet.
Right.
And that at cabinet, they decided not to remove Ken Ofori-Atta. It means the party agreed that Ken Ofori-Atta was performing and that must be a cost.
We have to go.
Have I not called for the removal of Afenyo Markins? I did. Have I not called on the MPP to divorce itself from the activities of Ken? Have I not called on Ghanaians that we should all come together and fight?
You are saying that we must not be talking about the MPP in 2026. I disagree with you.
I'm not saying MPP.
Which one?
I said Nana Akufo-Addo.
I am going to talk about Nana Akufo-Addo until he costs that $97 million, that hole, and cover it.
That's your grandfather.
Thank you so much.
And bring all the houses that were demolished.
And Emmanuel Kotin as well. For yes, they always enjoy the both of you when you are on. But call us because the 3FMO White Party, we're giving out gifts as well. We're giving out gifts today as well, and so I have just 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get out of the studio. Call us 055-924-2717. You could win for yourself pretty fantastic items. 055-924-2717.